What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. This is my first upload of 2024. Let's go. Today's video, I'm going to be talking why I went with the K20z3 after the K24, and pretty much comparing them and why I feel like it's not bad, and the pros and cons of buying a Z3 versus a K24. So let's go. A lot of you guys will probably be asking yourself if it's even worth it getting a Z3 for the amount that you can get a K24. The K24, give or take, I was between 900 to, with tax and everything said and done, I was like, I want to say 1,000 something. Like it's obviously less than two grand, but you're getting a bone stock K24 RBB one, and then Z3. This one I got for 24, a little bit more with the shipping and the environmental fee and all that stuff. But nonetheless, it was just the long block with all the accessories. Of course, we got the RBC intake manifold. I did not get the alternator nor the starter for some reason, or in the AC compressor. But a lot of these imports are starting to do that, or maybe they've done and I just didn't know. But when I bought my K24 from HMO years ago, I got everything for the price, so except for the compressor. But yeah, other than that, price wise, I am going to be giving it to the K24 on that one. This one's a lot more expensive, but it does bring a whole bunch of goodies that it's nice to have on the car and on your camshafts. Stock for stock, Z3 obviously has way better aggressive loads than the K24. The only exception is the 06 to 08 TSX. Those cam loads are way more aggressive than the Z3, and from what I've searched and found out, that's why a lot of people they love putting these cylinder heads on these K24s, because I believe you gain like 10 or a little bit more horsepower just stock for stock, and obviously overall in the build it helps out a lot when it comes to gaining more power and having a nicer build. I want to say, because it complements the bigger block, for the torque. Second, I want to say cylinder head versus comparing the Z3, by far has way better flow. They're literally identical. Talking about they're the same. Literally, you got the side water neck on the Z3, and then side water neck on the K24. They're pretty much spot on when it comes like that. I always say the Z3 is like a mini K24, because obviously the 2.0 liter versus a 2.4. Yeah, more CSFM flows on the Z3 head. From what I was reading and searching, roughly about 290, give or take, on CSFM flows for the Z3, and then about 270 for the K24. So, but when you are porting, all that kind of goes out the window, because at that point, it's whatever. At that point, it's pretty much, I'll say, similar in that aspect. But for right now, from my understanding, I believe the A2, K20 A2, and the Z1, K20 Z1s, those are a little bit more better flowing heads than the Z3. So the Z3 comes with a 50-degree VTC. Unlike the K24, it does not. You can always swap it in. Unfortunately, I do not have it on mine, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing it in the future. I will have to retune everything, but I have seen gains obviously on it. I do have a PRB oil pump on this one. Stock one does not. It's a balance shaft one, the same as the Z3, but it helped out a lot. It will help out a lot with the VTC. But yeah, both of them, they have a stock for stock, the same balance shafts. The only difference is, I believe the Z3, it's allowed, it helps it allow to rev a little bit higher. I know safely why it says 8,000, but I know once you get tuned and stuff, my tuner told me that safely, I can get it to 86, and I was like, wow, you can't really do that with the K24. That could cause serious issues and break it, but it does not rep that high on stock for stock. So a lot of people opt out to switch it to a Type S oil pump to allow it. I know with my setup here, safely, we're revving to 84, so that's pretty good. Moving down, so on the K24, we have a compression ratio of 10.5 to 1. We're looking at 11 to 1 on the Z3. So the Z3 has higher compression. Obviously the bore size on the K24, because of the bigger displacement is bigger, about let's say 87 to 86, longer stroke as well. That's why the deck is slightly higher than the K20. But yeah, so nonetheless, that's pretty much comparing them price to what I have so far. The Z3 does have an oil cooler from factory, K24 doesn't. Do you really need it? Not really. That's something that you can, it's something I guess good to have, but not needed. You can always put, you can always swap one in, or you can probably get the air to water or cooling cool one as well, which will work fine as well. So those are pretty much numbers and specs that I've seen. Both of them will get you great numbers. Obviously, the K24 will give you way more torque than the Z3. I believe stock numbers from Honda, and what I found stock, you're looking at the K24 to be roughly about 200 and about 170, 160 something on the torque from factory. Z3 barely 200, about 197, and then the torque's shy of 140. Obviously, when you put when you mods and bolt-ons, tune, all that factor changes. Z3, I've seen them go up to like 240, sometimes more with whatever you put on them. But I'm keeping everything stock, so I'm hoping I can get about 220. If I can get 230, that'll be pretty well. But I just want something reliable. I'm just hoping to make decent torque on the Z3. I've seen people make all the way to 150, sometimes 160 on them, way more than what is listed from the factory. And then obviously with the K24, I made 195, so that's way more than the Z3. And on horsepower, on the healthy low mileage K24 ADM, because the TSX, I feel like it's kind of hard to find on those K24 A2s. They have high mileage. It's always hard to find one in decent, and I believe I'm not sure. I mean, it's the same block, everything, but for some reason they're listed with less torque from the factory according to the specs that I have found. We're talking about 160 something, which is really minute, but I don't know, a lot of those engines are kind of like, when you look for them, a little bit more expensive. And you're always having to see if you can find something with low mileage, unlike these imported K24As, RBB. They have low miles and you can get them way cheaper, and in my opinion, I feel like they're listed with way better torque, 170 I believe. So no brainer, I will definitely go with one of these and a TSX. If I get a TSX, by all means I'll get it, but this is my preference when it comes to the K24. That's pretty much my comparison. Z3 versus the K24. It's whatever you guys will feel. Obviously the no-brainer will go with the K24, budget friendly. It gives you the numbers at a lower cost. You do have to swap a lot of stuff onto it, in order to make it what it is currently, what it is right now, versus the Z3. Obviously Z3, you're going to be spending a little bit more for it, but you're getting a lot of the stuff from the start, so it just makes the swap a lot easier. But yeah, we wanted a K20, especially a Z3. That's so similar to a K24. So we're gonna be diving into this, and I'm gonna be seeing what numbers I can make. I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, power steering and AC will rob me a little bit of power, and that's unfortunate. But that's the setup that I'm going with the Integra to make it. Wrapping up the video, it's pretty much your opinion. It's your money. It's whatever you want to do. What way are you going to go? Obviously, wallet money plays a huge factor, but there's nothing wrong going with the Z3 as your first choice or first swap ever, kswap. I think in my experience from seeing, because I've never have experienced the Z3, it's nothing but pure joy. It's actually considered one of the true VTECs, the last true VTEC ever made, because they don't even count the Z7 out of a 9th gen a true VTEC, because it's not. So this is considered the last true VTEC that Honda ever made, from what I've heard and stuff like that. So obviously it's pure joy from hearing, seeing it, the high revving, all that. So it's nothing wrong with it. So if your first choice is a Z3, by all means, you have the money, then go ahead and get it. You're getting a whole bunch of stuff at the same time. Down the road, if you want to upgrade, you want to maybe put you want a K20 block, or you want to do more stuff, there's nothing wrong. I've seen Z3s just what it has make decent power, especially with cams, aftermarket cams and stuff like that. They make really serious power. So not knocking it. nothing. There's potential there as same as the K24. So it's your discretion. It's what you guys want to do, but I'm just, helping you guys out, maybe narrowing it down a little bit if you're confused on what to get. K24, obviously budget friendly. It has so much room to grow. Obviously, I went as my first choice. I went with the K24. Made good power, good torque, and there's so many bolt-ons that I can put on it, and so many stuff I can do with what it currently has, and make tons of power. So it's up to you at this point. Money plays a huge factor, and what direction you'll be heading. But obviously, when you go boost, at that point, everything changes completely. But yeah, I hope this helped you guys out, and I appreciate you guys. Add on a little bit more regarding both of these monsters, comparing the K24 and the Z3, if it's worth it, if it's not, pros and cons. You guys have way more insight, way more information. Put it down below in the comment section for everybody. Put in your opinion, or if you guys want to correct me on some stuff that I might have said wrong, by all means go ahead. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the video, and yeah, it's just a little bit more insight regarding these two monsters. So catch you guys on the next one. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe.
We got this far, don't know how.